Discover the stories behind the photos that shaped our world. One image, one moment, endless impact. Subscribe and dive into history like never before.
During World War II, as millions of men left their homes to fight, women across the globe stepped into roles they had never imagined. From factory floors to military posts, women became the backbone of the war effort. This is their story, told through 28 iconic images from the era. Here, a young woman inspects the wings of a C-47 transport plane. Her attention to detail is remarkable, her focus unwavering. She may have never imagined herself in such a position before the war, but now, like many others, she's become a critical part of the war effort. Every bolt she checks, every part she inspects, could mean the difference between life and death for soldiers overseas. In this photo, we see two women taking a rare moment to rest during a long shift. Behind them, sandbags serve as a reminder of the constant threat of air raids. Yet, even in the face of danger, they continue their work with quiet resilience. These women, who assemble planes like the B-17 Flying Fortress, are no longer just wives, daughters, and sisters. They are warriors in their own right, fighting the battle on the home front. With determination etched on her face, this woman rivets the wing sections of a B-17 bomber. The Flying Fortress became a symbol of American air power, and thanks to women like her, these planes would carry their crews into the skies, defending freedom across the world. She might not be on the battlefield, but her contribution is just as crucial, building the machines that would help turn the tide of the war. Here, men and women work side by side, rivet guns in hand, building the very planes that will fly into combat. Their teamwork reflects a newfound sense of equality, one that the war has forced upon them. For the first time, gender lines blur in the workplace as the focus shifts to one goal: victory. And through their combined efforts, that victory draws nearer every day. With steady hands and unwavering focus, this woman works on the intricate parts of an aircraft engine. It's a meticulous job, one that demands precision. In these factories, women are not only doing the work, they are mastering it, proving their capabilities in fields once thought to belong solely to men. This image captures the raw power of teamwork. Women who had once been homemakers or secretaries now find themselves in bomber factories, building the very machines that will defend their loved ones abroad. There's a quiet dignity in their work, a realization that they are doing far more than assembling metal. They are building hope for the future. Here we see a moment of respite. A full-fledged assembly worker rests in front of a bomber part, taking a quiet moment in the middle of a busy day. It's a rare opportunity to breathe in an environment filled with noise, stress, and urgency. But even in this stillness, the weight of their task is clear. Every plane assembled is one step closer to victory. Working tirelessly on the C-47 cargo transport, these women knew that every piece they installed would carry troops, supplies, and even hope across war-torn lands. The transport planes they built were the lifeline for soldiers far from home, and their work directly supported those on the front lines. In this photo, a woman carefully works on the bombardier section of a B-17F, known as the Flying Fortress. This bomber was a key player in the Allied forces' aerial dominance. It's no small thing that she and others like her had a hand in constructing these iconic planes. They knew that each rivet they placed was a part of history. This woman assembles the cowling for a B-25 bomber engine. Known for its role in the Doolittle raid, the B-25 was a formidable aircraft, and behind each one of these bombers was a woman like her, whose skills ensured these planes were ready to face anything. Operating a hand drill on a Vengeance dive bomber, this woman has become an expert in her craft. She's not just filling in during a time of need, she's becoming a crucial part of a war machine that relies on precision and dedication. In the midst of the war, women like Mary Saverick found themselves crafting harnesses for parachutes, their delicate hands stitching life-saving equipment. Each stitch a lifeline for the soldiers who would depend on them in moments of danger. Their work wasn't glamorous, but it was vital. Focused and steady, this woman works in the control surface department, assembling parts for a plane's stabilizer. As men fought on distant battlefields, women back home were the pillars of strength, taking on jobs that had been. In this image, we see Eva Hertzberg and Elve Burnham, Navy wives who decided not to wait passively for their husband's return, but instead took action by joining the workforce. Their task? Assembling bands for blood transfusion bottles. Their quiet dedication saved countless lives, reminding us that not all heroes wear uniforms. Some work behind the scenes, unseen but essential. Here, Dorothy Cole, once a sculptress, now works to tin plate needles for blood transfusion bottles. In her basement-turned-workshop, she dedicates herself to the war effort, her profits funding war bonds, and her heart set on securing a better future for her young nephew. The war transformed not only society but individuals, calling on them to contribute in ways they had never imagined. At the Corpus Christi Naval Air Base, Mrs. Cora Ann Bowen and Mrs. Eloise J. Ellis contribute their skills to keep American planes in top fighting condition. Both wives of veterans, these women prove that their service to the nation extends beyond personal sacrifice. With each rivet and repair, they ensure the nation's defense remains strong, even while facing their own personal. In this photo, Mrs. Eloise J. Ellis, appointed senior supervisor, takes on a leadership role in the assembly and repairs department. She's not just a worker, she's a trailblazer, buoying the spirits of her fellow women, arranging living conditions for employees, and offering a shoulder to lean on. Her work extends far beyond machines. She is a leader who inspires those around her to keep going, even when the days are long and the war seems endless. This striking recruitment poster calls out to women with a star-spangled heart. During World War II, posters like this one encouraged women to enlist in the waves, women accepted for volunteer emergency service. These women would serve in the U.S. Navy, filling crucial roles left vacant by men at war. It was a chance to prove that they could do more than support from the sidelines. They could serve on the front lines of the home. Another bold call to action, this poster encouraged women to join the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. Speed them back, it says. Women were seen as essential to the war effort, their contributions helping to bring men home sooner. These posters, with their powerful imagery and messages, became iconic symbols of the strength, patriotism, and this powerful image captures the poise and pride of a wanted U.S. Navy Waves officer. During the World War II, women like her joined the Navy to fill critical positions on the home front, allowing men to serve overseas. Waves, which stood for Women Accepted for Volunteer Emergency Service, was a groundbreaking program that enabled women to take on roles that were once reserved for men, marking a shift in societal perceptions. With determination and bravery, these women helped keep America's naval forces operational, proving that their contributions were invaluable in the war effort. This image highlights two African American women contributing to the war effort at the North American Aviation Plant in California. They are assembling wings for B-25 bombers, which were crucial in missions like the Doolittle raid on Tokyo. Despite facing racial and gender discrimination, these women played a vital role in keeping the production lines running, breaking barriers, and proving their strength in a time of global conflict. Don't worry, the girl he left behind is still behind him. This poster, promoting women ordnance workers, WOW, shows that while soldiers were fighting abroad, women were making sure they had the weapons and equipment they needed. These women stepped into roles traditionally filled by men, operating. Perhaps one of the most iconic images of the war effort, the "We Can Do It" poster, became a symbol of female empowerment during and after World War II. Rosie the Riveter, with her rolled-up sleeve and determined look, represented the millions of women who took on jobs in factories, shipyards, and aircraft plants. But Rosie was more than just an icon. She was a symbol of strength, resilience, and the enduring power of women. Bring him home sooner. This powerful image reminds us of the emotional toll the war took on families. By joining the waves, women could play a direct role in bringing their loved ones home. This poster, with its "he." Women at the Willow Run plant worked together, welding parts for an aircraft engine. Their teamwork, precision, and dedication were ends. As the war came to a close, the contributions of women in factories, hospitals, and offices remained undeniable. Women weren't just holding the fort, they were ensuring victory. Their work in World War II paved the way for future generations and forever changed the role of women in the workforce. Thank you for watching this tribute to the incredible women of World War II. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from history.